project car market might be cooked, but you can still get one of these for under $4 grand. The 8th Gen Civic Si might be the most slept on project car you can buy right now. It's lightweight, it's high revving, it's manual, and it's reliable. Plus, it's super fun to modify. And the best part is you can still buy one of these rev-happy mini monsters before prices go completely insane. So today, I'm giving you 10 reasons why the 8th Gen Civic Si is the perfect project car. Let's get into it with reason number 10. These are still affordable. Go find me a golden age Honda that's not beat to hell for under $7,000. I'll wait. Sadly, the selection of cheap and fun project cars is getting pretty slim these days. But not with the 8th Gen. You can find good projects for $4,000 all day long. They won't be perfect, but they'll be savable. I can't say the same for an I know what I got EG Civic that's on its 3rd motor swap, 10th set of coilovers, and a rat's nest of wiring issues left by its 12 previous owners. For the most part, you're going to find whatever you're looking for in the 8th Gen. Everything from pristine JDM collectors to perfect mod rot resurrection patience. So it really doesn't matter what you pick, just commit to the maintenance and these cars will keep the smiles coming. So that leads us to reason number 9, Honda reliability. What's the first thing your mom says when you say Honda? I'm betting it has something to do with reliability. And like most things, your mom's right. Honda has built a legacy around reliability. The 8th Gens reflect that commitment to quality engineering. These cars will go well past 200,000 miles with little effort. These drivetrains were engineered to last. We'll talk about the K-Series a little later, but it's worth mentioning here. Honda built a mega engine. You give it good oil, good fuel, strong spark, and the K20Z3 will just run. These cars come alive with a little attention. Parts are easy to find and cheap, for now. So it's affordable and reliable, but a project car isn't just about owning it. It's about building it. And that's what really makes the 8th Gen stand out. And that leads us to reason number 8, aftermarket support. If you can dream it, someone has built it in the aftermarket. Body kits, bolt-ons, interior upgrades, suspension, exhaust, there are tons of options. If you want proof, go to eBay and type in 8th Gen Civic. As of this video, there are over 4,000 results, so yeah, a lot to choose from. You can go as deep as you want with the 8th Gen. Simple mods like a body kit can get you started. Or you can go down the black hole. Get yourself a standalone, a half cage, and a supercharger. It's all off the shelf and basically bolt on with this platform. So I'm not quite ready for this yet, so these have got to go back in the box. And when a platform has this much support, something interesting happens. People start figuring out what actually works. But that's not to say every mod is a good mod. There are definite recipes you'll want to follow, which is our 7th reason. Build recipes. When it comes to modding, with some cars you're just guessing. With the 8th Gen, the community already figured out what works. There are parts and combos of parts that just work, and those parts and combos are no secret. Here are some common categories and the available mods. So you just want the car to look cool. You're in luck. There's Mugen, Spoon, and Jay's racing kits. They're pricey, but undeniably cool. FD2, the 8th Gen Type R conversions, are becoming easier to find. There are also eBay reps that are surprisingly good. It's just a matter of taste and budget. You want a quick, responsive go-kart that can rip a back road? Cool. Grab a good set of wheels and tires, throw on coilovers, update your bushings, and put a sway bar in the rear. You'll be canyon carving with ease. You'll probably also want a new steering wheel and shift knob to really change the tactile feel of the car. You want a reliable track-focused car that you can drive to the track and back home again. Again, wheels, tires, brakes, suspension, maybe some aero, and a bolt-in half-cage lights these cars up. You don't need to go full race car to have the time of your life behind the wheel with an 8th Gen. These cars come to life above 6,000 RPM. They love the track. Those are just a few examples of the different ways you can mod these things. You can express yourself any way you want. And if you're thinking of building one of these, I've got a ton of 8th Gen Civic content on this channel, so you should consider subscribing. All of these recipes work because the foundation of the car is so good. So speaking of the foundation, that's reason number 6, it's the perfect size and it's lightweight. 2,800-ish pounds. That's the curb weight of an 8th Gen Civic Si sedan. Ugh. You know what else is in that range? The BRZ, the GR86, and the FRS. Oh, and the NC Miata. But this is a 4-door sedan that you can actually daily drive. This era of Civic is still in the Goldilocks zone of car size. By the mid-2010s, cars are just getting bigger. Even the 10th and 11th Gen Civics are just bigger cars now. The 8th Gen is still light and nimble. That makes it easy on consumables like tires and brakes, and it makes it a blast to chuck into corners. The 8th Gen seems like the last of an era in that respect. By the time the 9th Gen rolls out, enthusiast cars are just getting bigger, heavier, and more computer assisted, which is a shame. But the 8th Gen size makes it part of something bigger, and it's our 5th reason the 8th Gen is an era car. So don't get me wrong, modern cars are really cool. I daily drive a BMW F31, and it's awesome, but it's a complicated beast. I'm borrowing era car from Vintra because I think he's really nailed what that means. An era car keeps it simple. They don't overcomplicate the driving experience with a bunch of menus and driver assistance modes. They just provide what we want. Good engines, manual transmissions, responsive chassis. The 8th Gen fits right in among its era car classmates. Honda built a car that's fun to drive and didn't overburden it with stuff. It's a car that wants you to lean into the driving experience. There isn't much between you and the road in an 8th Gen. It communicates with you and invites you to commune with it. It's modern enough to live with and old enough to work on, which is chef's kiss. And a big part of that driving experience comes down to how this car puts power to the ground. So the last 4 reasons to buy an 8th Gen are all about the transmission and the K20Z3. So reason number 4, a factory LSD. Honda knew what it was building. You can see the design brief clearly. A practical, high-revving car that exhilarates as much as it accelerates. As part of that brief, Honda included a limited slip differential from the factory, which is awesome. Now let's be real, the K20Z3 is not putting down a crazy amount of power. But the way it delivers that power to the front wheels matters when it comes to the driving experience. Honda knew that, and they planned for it. The factory LSD is good. It grips and claws its way out of the corners. You can feel the limited amount of torque being directed right where it needs to go. Now, a factory LSD seems like a little detail, but it makes a world of difference to the driver. Honda wanted us to push this car, and they gave us everything we needed to do just that, including an incredible transmission, which is our reason number 3, one of the best transmissions Honda ever made. Let's talk about the transmission. 6-speed, close ratio, short throw, perfect. I would argue that the transmission is the biggest contributor to the car's personality. It encourages you to row through the gears and rewards you for it. You're going to live between 2nd and 4th, but the close ratio means you can ring the K20 out and still be reasonably within the speed limit. It's awesome. The shifts feel smooth and assertive, and rev matching is quick and simple. This transmission is fantastic. So you want to take care of it. I would recommend changing the trans fluid. A lot of owners skip that step, but it's really easy to do and it can significantly increase the life of your gearbox. So grab your fluid from the Honda dealership. It's surprisingly cheap. Acuity shifter bushings will help remove slop. You can go full shifter replacement, but honestly, the factory shifter is pretty good. So Honda paired the transmission and motor perfectly, which leads me to our reason number 2 and the beating heart of the 8th Gen, the K20Z3. I'm not going to say anything that hasn't already been said about the K20Z3. This engine is legendary. Honda built this motor right. In fact, maybe the Aston Martin F1 team should K-swap their cars. They'd probably be faster. Out of the box, they don't look like much. You get around 200 horsepower and 140-ish foot-pounds of torque. Not all that impressive. But pair that with light responsive chassis and a close ratio manual 6-speed, and you get something special. The K20Z3 isn't goated because of what it is. People want it because of what it can be. These motors can push major horsepower with little effort. You can go the NA route and crank big power with aggressive cams and a good exhaust. Or you can touch 500 horsepower with a turbo or supercharger, all without touching the bottom end. And that's rare. We talked earlier about build recipes for the 8th gen, and the K20Z3 has a lot of tried and true recipes for both power and reliability. It really just depends on what you're looking for. The K20Z3 is one of those engines from the modern Honda age. It's up there in the hallowed chambers of the B16B or the B18C. It's a special motor. That being said, it's an expensive motor to replace, so you're going to want to take care of it. So keep up on the maintenance. You're going to want to do the basic stuff like changing the oil and replacing gaskets. You're also going to want to change the timing chain at its 100,000 mile interval, and for the love of God, keep it cool. The K20 does not like to get overheated. The lower block will crack. Ask me how I know. Take care of it, and it will scream the sweetest lyrics a car guy can dream of. So speaking of screaming, let's talk about the number one reason these cars rule. 8,200 RPM. That's the suggested red line. It's actually more like 8,500 RPM. Nice. There aren't many cars that you can push above 7,000 RPM. VTEC doesn't even engage until 6,000 RPM in the K20Z3. This is an engine that begs you to rev it out. Now, we're not talking about a V10 or V12 here, but the sound the K20 makes above 7,000 RPM is awesome. It's the song of our people. The rev limit makes this car special. It makes it visceral. It makes it a blast to drive. The K20's rev limit is something that defines Honda fans. We want small, light, manual, high-revving cars. The 8th gen checks all of those boxes. And hey Fizz, if you're watching, I'm accepting sponsors. Because there's something special about pushing a car that high in the rev range. It just speaks to a car guy's soul. I don't know how else to explain it. And yeah, I'm over-romanticizing it a bit, but come on, how can you not be romantic about cars? I think that's the meta conversation we're having with this list. This car is more than its specs. It's a car that makes you want to be a driver and gives you everything you need to really enjoy that experience. And it's definitely not the fastest or the coolest car you can buy, but it's just fastish and coolish enough to capture our imagination. And that, for me anyway, is definitely worth the price of entry. Hey, thanks for watching. If you're into project cars that are more fun than perfect, you found your people. That's exactly what I'm doing here, so consider subscribing. And if you're really thinking about picking one of these up, you should check out this 8th Gen Civic Si buyer's guide that I did a little while ago. So I talk through a lot of the common issues and blemishes, and then I break it down by price range so you can know what to expect on your hunt for your new 8th Gen. So leave me a like and let me know if I missed anything on this list. Keep getting after it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.